And we are back on the Loveland Report and Lone Ranger Show. I am Cleve Loveland, Central Florida's best real estate planner, alongside Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Ranger, bringing you your real estate and mortgage news. I got some listings real quick. I want to give you an idea of what's out there on the market. Great one here. Condominium in the heart of Altamonte. That's where I'm at. Altamonte. Kensington is a gated community.
Oh, Kensington's great.
3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,600 square feet.
That's a condo or a townhome?
That is a condo.
Yep.
This is on the second floor, but it's got like double master bedroom set up. Now this one needs work. It's priced $30,000 below anything else in there. And it's also one of the larger ones. This neighborhood though, Bruce, I got a tour of the community center, the fitness center, racquetball court. I'm surprised they haven't turned into pickleball yet. And then a big old meeting room, gorgeous pool. You're gated. You're right there.
It's a great community, and the location is right there at Markham Wood Road and Douglas,
right across from the Springs. I got another one here. 640,000, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, plus a den. Could easily be 4 bedrooms. 2,200 square feet, 3/4 acre lot, right off Chickasaw Trail.
Okay.
Right by the 408
Rio
Goldenrod,
Pinar.
right next to Rio Pinar, but a large lot. Do what you want on this lot. 5-car garage.
Wow.
Room to build on. Luxury vinyl plank floors throughout. Fresh paint. No work needed. You can move right in. Big living areas. Fireplace for $640,000, and a 5-car garage, gentlemen, which you could turn into living space, turn into a workshop, turn into a man cave. All kinds of possibilities there on a 3/4 acre lot.
How much was that one?
That's at $640,000.
There you go.
I've got a commercial building in Dundee, downtown Dundee, Polk County, $340,000 for 2,000 square feet. Nice building. The pre-listing inspection was done, Bruce, and got reception area, full bathroom inside, kitchen, and run a legal office out of this, a real estate office. This currently or was a thrift shop. Whatever you want to do in this area, bustling downtown area, $340,000 for that. And then I've got a pre-foreclosure, $443,000 in Hunters Creek, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths with a pool. And this one just needs a little bit of paint, and it's priced about $50,000 below what the other homes are selling for. It's $443,000, 2,000 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths in Hunters Creek. And then
So you take a house like that. How much was that house?
$440,000.
Okay. You take a house like that. You want to have all the work done on it. I can have you buy that house and do a renovation loan.
This house needs paint. $20,000 to sparkle.
I can do $20,000, no problem.
Yep.
No problem.
And that's not in the negotiations. You don't need to make an offer higher asking for closing costs. You just do a loan for more with receipts for the vendors.
That's it. We get bids on whatever you want to do. You can put all new appliances in it if you want to, although I don't even know appliances may be brand new in there.
That one could use some work. I mean, but 20, 30 grand, it's sparkling and priced $50,000 below everything else. All right. This is the one I was talking about at the top of the show. 4 bedroom, 2 bath with a pool on a 1/2 acre lot in that St. Nona area, St. Cloud, just south of Lake Nona, right off Narcoossee, $443,000. The best price pool home anywhere around there. One thing funny about the whole Lake Nona corridor, St. Cloud corridor, most of the homes were built like right after the bubble, during the bubble. Not a lot of pool homes. There's only one other pool home around here, and the house is trashed.
Really?
It's nowhere close to this price. So great price for $443,000, but open plan. Big backyard, big screen porch for $443,000. And then I go over to Oviedo address right off Tuscaloosa Boulevard, $560,000, literally right next to the middle school, right down the street from the high school. 4 bedrooms, 2 baths with a pool, solar panels, 2,300 square feet, big open living area, double-sided fireplace, just gorgeous. Looks like it was professionally decorated. $560,000 for that one. Call me at 407-352-8118 or go to cleveloveland.com. We'd love to help you out.
And if you want to get financing, you don't want to pay cash, you call me. I can help you. I'll get your financing, conventional, FHA, VA. Do you know that I'm one of the largest VA lenders in the entire country?
Wow.
Veterans, you don't have to go to USAA or Veterans United. They're not better. You've got to shop the Lone Ranger. I specialize in VA loans, VA purchases, VA refinances. Do you know if you've got a VA mortgage right now, you can do a streamline refinance, and you can do it with no money out of your pocket. You're adding very little to the mortgage, and you can usually skip 1 to 2 payments. Listen, veterans, now is the time to give me a call and get your refinance at least lined up. If your rate's in the 7s, you could save hundreds of dollars. So don't delay, and don't think that whoever's servicing your mortgage right now is a better way for you to go. they're not necessarily a better way.
Don't
for you
get
to
churned. I don't want you to get churned.
You don't want to get churned.
All right.
But FHA and VA interest rates are very attractive. Conventional, not quite as good, but I'm still refinancing lots of folks.
What's our FHA limits right now?
Well, that's all changing, but FHA I think is 524. No, 524.
Yeah. All right. And what's our conventional loan limits? Those are in the
so
sevens?
that is 806, but it's going to I think 819 or 816 at
Good
the end of
God,
the year
for a conventional loan.
Yeah.
I remember jumbos used to be like above 5, wasn't it?
Yes.
Used
Oh
to be
God, I
years
remember
ago.
417 for
Yeah.
years.
Yep.
Anything over 417 was a jumbo.
Well, Bruce, this time of year, I want to talk about one thing real quick: holiday sales.
Okay.
I have sold houses on Thanksgiving Day.
You just take your house off the market because you don't want anybody.
I have so many
through.
people telling me that. I said, well, do you want to move in January? They said, yeah. I said, we need to be on the market now. But if you have the family, I had one lady does a big old Christmas and 20 people in the house. I said, we just take the house off the market for those 3 or 4 days while you're getting ready, or however many days you want. You can come off the market, but the houses show better, look better. And if you want a sale now's the time to be looking, because we don't slow down like up north when the sales are cut down to 1/4.
Here's what I think. Here's where I actually think it's the best time to sell. And here's why. How many people do you think are not going to heed your advice and they just want to take their home off the market during the holidays?
We get a big surge.
So let's just say it's 30%. I think it's more, but let's say it's 30% of people say, from Thanksgiving to New Year's, I'm just going to come off the market. So you take them off the market. That means that there's 30% less homes available, but there's still the same amount of buyers.
Yep.
So the people that kept their home on the market have a better opportunity to pick up a buyer.
Well, last November, December, there was about 5,700 homes listed. Those 2 months in Central Florida. January, February, 8,300 homes. So like January, February, get me on the market.
Right.
So you might have some, and that for you personally, that might equate to 2 or 3 of your neighbors coming on the market.
It could very well.
And in this market, you got to watch for that. I just had one. We just listed the house, and then 3 new listings in 2 weeks. I sit down with my sellers every couple of weeks and think about this. If you haven't seen your realtor, in a couple of months, you might want to think about making a change.
Give Cleve a call.
Yeah. But we sat down.
Better call Cleve.
We had 3 new listings, and 3 of them went right below our price. All 3 came on right below our price. And I'm all for my seller getting as much as possible. I said, hey, your competition just chopped you off of the knees. We need to chop them off of the knees now and make an adjustment, because our activity was a little slow. We only had 2 people through in 2.5 weeks.
Proper consultation.
That's the market. That's
and
reacting to the market.
You read the market. You don't dictate the market. You read the market.
I'm not in charge of it. But
Nobody's
I will tell you what's happening.
The market's in charge of the market.
Your market value is what you walk away from the closing table with.
Right.
That is your market value.
You know what, Cleve, I keep saying this, but I think that buyers are really missing out on a huge opportunity, because I don't think there's still $25 million in hometown heroes left. $25 million in hometown heroes left. That means we have only gone through half of the money. Now, when we had 100 million, we went through the whole thing in a month and a half. Now, not so much. So why are people hesitant to get in? Interest rates are attractive. They've come way down. You can be in the 6s, and I can get you up to $35,000 in down payment assistance money. Why don't you, instead of asking for any gifts from Christmas, ask for donations from your family so you can put enough money to buy a house?
Yep.
Put enough money to cover some closing costs, maybe a little bit of down payment. I'll get you some down payment assistance if you need it. But there's no reason to sit on the sidelines and be a tenant on the planet. It doesn't do anything for you. There's no such thing as a rich renter.
That's right. And I have 3 of these homes are right here, like 440. And that's probably about, 18, 20 grand down if you get the seller to pay your
your
costs.
Average price, right?
And what's the payment going to be on that? 2,500?
Yeah, $2,500, depending on how much you put down.
So plus it's yours. It's yours. You're on the way to making money.
And you have rent control, the meaning that the rent will never go up because it's a fixed rate payment.
Yep.
So you want rent control, you can either move to New York City, or you can buy a home here and own it and gain equity. And you know what? If you're not good at investments, and I think most Americans truly aren't as good as they should be, a home is the easiest way for you to accumulate wealth without even trying. Look at my son, Chase. He makes a very moderate income, not modest income, I should say. He doesn't make a lot. And he has not an ability to save any money. He just doesn't make enough money to save any money.
Yep.
But he bought the home. He's been in it for 4 years and he's almost $200,000 in equity. Now, he could have never done that. But yet you have all these people that are sitting there renting right now.
Yep.
And they're like, well, I got a gym and I got a pool and I got the apartment complex and I love my neighbors. And you have nothing to show
I'm
for
glad
it.
you mentioned that trend. That's the trend of all the apartment complexes the past 10 years is how much amenities do we have? And then
Right.
I talked to tenants. I've sold some of those tenants in those apartment complexes homes. They say, yeah, we never used it.
Yeah.
We want our own place. We're tired of tripping over somebody. We're tired of the noisy dog. We're tired of the people stomping on the floor above us.
Yep.
And so get a house. I can't say it.
You
I did not buy my
there's
first
no
home soon enough.
well, your average renter in the United States has less than $10,000 in
Yep.
savings. Your average homeowner
Isn't
has
that worth 200 grand?
$213,000.
Yep.
So which one do you want to be?
Well, I'm looking for it. I got several leapfroggers moving on to their fourth home this year. So they'll
Yep.
have 3 rentals. And it's just amazing. We look back at the first one, like, look how much equity you have. You weren't cash flowing, you moved out, but we've raised the rent every year. Now you're cash flowing. A couple of them have 15-year notes on their first home. They're really socking away equity.
As soon as these rates drop much more than they are, we are going to see the biggest boom. We are going to see like COVID times. It's going to be,
I don't know if it'll go that crazy, but it will move. Yes.
it'll go. I'm telling you, you're going to see a surge in the market and you're going to see that inventory shrink. It's
Yep.
going to shrink because, and it may not be as big as COVID because COVID was an anomaly. However, look at how many people been sitting on the sidelines for so long. These are like horses in a horse race and they're inside that gate and they're just waiting to get out.
Well, think about our median price is $390. Our average price $470. Then climbing hasn't slowed down much it slowed down a little bit the past couple months, but it's going to start climbing again, I'm sure, as the economy starts to move more. But that rates go to 5 3/4.
Oh man,
That buyer who could only go to 320 can now go to 370.
absolutely.
And the VA buyer who was at 5 3/4 didn't quite see what he liked, and it goes down to 5 1/4, and he can go to 390, 425.
It gives you either a lower payment or a higher purchase, whichever
Yep.
one you want.
Yep.
You can take it either way, but it really does. It does help you with buying power. And if you're not buying right now, what are you doing? You're renting. You're paying 100% interest rate if you're renting right now, and you have nothing to show for it. At least every payment you make on a house, your portion of that's going into equity.
And I want to talk real quick. We got 2 minutes. If the market does speed up, this is where your realtor is very, very important on negotiating. I had somebody, it's funny, I sold that St. Cloud house. I sold their kids 4 years ago during the COVID times, crazy times. We had multiple offers, and they were asking about the market now and for their mom who's selling. But what do we do if we get multiple offers? And I have a process for that. Now, we didn't get multiple offers on this property. I said it's rarer now. But when you have multiple offers, there should be a system. There should be a process in place to do that. And then knowing how to squeeze the most out of the buyers. For me, as the listing agent,
Yes.
I want to know how to get as much as possible out of the buyer, but then don't be too greedy. This is not a strong market. And so don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
No, don't.
I had somebody a couple weeks ago where they wanted to counter back at like 1,000 off list price at 500,000. And I said, no. I said,
That was the buyer or
the seller said they only wanted to come off their list price $1,000. I said, we can't do that. I said, you've had 2 people a week. This is our first offer. It's 20,000 below list price. I said, we kind of need to go 5,000, 7,000 off and see where they go. I said, because they walk away, we're back to square one, and you've got no activity for 2 weeks, no offers, and you need to get going. Their new home is almost complete. So anyway, you have questions like that, you can always call me at 407-352-8118 if you want the toughest negotiator around, or go to cleveloveland.com.
Yeah, that's right. And Cleve is your source of real estate here in Central Florida, but he can help you anywhere in the country as long as you want to buy or sell. He can connect you with one of his realtor partners nationwide. Same here. I can lend in all 50 states. You want a mortgage to buy a home, sell a home, you need to refinance, you want a home equity line of credit, whatever you need when it comes to home financing, I got it. My name is Bruce Woodburn. I am the Loan Arranger. 407-250-9144 or WeBringYouHome.com. Cleve and I will be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report. Loan Arranger Show.